In Africa, yes means no. If you ask, is this the way to Zambezi Falls? The answer will always be yes. Within about an hour of picking up the local ranger, we found ourselves driving down a road that no longer existed, in the dark, following a group of guys who also kept telling us, yes, this is the way to Zambezi Falls. It wasn't until the next morning that we found the put-in, which was in a small village at the very end of a completely different road, far from where we'd started. This was pretty exciting for everyone. It was the first time any of the villagers had seen white people in a long time, and the very first for a few of the small kids, I bet. There was two sections to the Zambezi River, one above Colombo Falls and one below. This top section would take us a few hours. Well, that's what we thought after looking at the GPS, little did we know. Everyone from the village followed us down to the river to see us off, and after a little Eskimo rolling show for the crowds, we said our goodbyes and headed off downstream to the first challenge. The first portage was around a 150-foot slide that simply would not go. The next few hours was an easy paddle with lots of great drops. The riverbank on our left was Zambia, and to our right, Tanzania. The difference between how much wildlife was on the Tanzanian side was remarkable compared to the Zambian side. Rare species of vertebrate monkeys swung through the trees, as well as amazing coloured birds like the Ross's Tarocco, found only in this part of Africa. So far the run had been well worth the epic drive, just a little longer than we had estimated. It was about 4:30 in the afternoon when we reached what looked like a serious drop in elevation. After about a 45-minute scout, we realised the next portage would take us more time than we had daylight. Best case scenario was to leave the boats and walk out to the closest road.
Well, here we are, as they say, here we are, in the heart of African bush. We've just had a, 2.5 hour bushwhack in the dark from our kayaks, which are stashed next to the river. And we haven't eaten since breakfast and haven't had a sip of water since then either. And so, as I said, here we are.
So we're on day 2 of the upper Colombo descent, and late last night we came across a steep section where the river appeared to gorge out, and we were running out of daylight, so we decided to head for the hills with our tails between our legs and come back today to try and complete the river. And from what we've seen this morning, I think that was a pretty good decision. The river, right where we got out, actually split into 3 channels and just dropped off the face of the earth. We've come to the bottom of the gorge, and yeah, the rapids are totally unrunnable, and it resulted in us having a pretty epic portage through all sorts of long grass and thick bush and thorns and that sort of thing. But we've still got some more rapids ahead. It looks like the nature of this place, there's a lot of basalt ridges where it looks like the river goes along flat for a little while and then drops off another series of staircases, and hopefully we find a few more of those sort of things before we get to the top of the falls that we take out.
We'd now been on the road for just short of 2 weeks. We came to paddle something other than the Zambezi in Zambia, and it turned out way better than we expected. Our only disappointment was after closer inspection of the gorge below Colombo Falls. The decision was that there was way too much water in a very narrow canyon with a high possibility of getting boxed in. We would have to return another time, and that's not a bad thing. Any excuse to come back to Zambia was just fine with us.
Lelilungelungela